With each new hero release in Overwatch 2, I begin to question more and more if it's even worth playing this game anymore. The annoying overflow of content in the shop page and absolute greed that is shown across even the gameplay itself makes me as disappointed as my fiancé when I told her I want to become a YouTuber. All of that makes me want to go back to the good old days of Overwatch 1, when people were complaining about staggering the point on 2 CP, or crying about getting outskilled by the scatter arrow. That's why I started thinking, what is actually stopping me from playing the game just like I used to? I don't have to play the newest heroes even if they provide a significant advantage, because Flight is just so original and fun to play against. Even characters that I used to enjoy very much but got changed for the sake of change, like Orisa losing her ability to scratch her back, or Doomfist that forgot how to uppercut. Luckily for me, there have been some singular examples that have not been touched ever since they came out, or only experienced minor changes in numbers. If I want to go back to the most simple and most basic Overwatch experience, I must play the character that reflects all of those attributes. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to Lifeweaver, and now I will proceed to beat the absolute living crap out of him. Please give a warm welcome to the Pops himself, Soldier 76. This man has been designed to serve as the tutorial character for any person that wants to start playing the game. No need to worry about positioning, because that's the tank's job. No need to care about your teammates, as it's just support obligation. Just a bare bones damage hero. You load in a game, pick Soldierino and shoot the enemy gamers with the most basic and straightforward assault rifle. The introduction to the entire ability gameplay style is very intuitive, with one of them being Sprint, that is purely exclusive to Soldier, for some dumb reason, like what's stopping Orisa from sprinting. With the readable and not overcomplicated heads-up display, by simply looking around you, you will notice there are more abilities that are bound to some of your buttons on keyboard or controller respectively. I got you, console gamers. Helix rockets seem simple enough, and the first roadblock that might come in is understanding what this littering simulator does. Let's stop right here, because we already have enough to know why Soldier works so well. The key bindings, or moving around, running and shooting, have been assigned to the holy binds that no one is brave enough to change. It's an unwritten rule of game developers that you move with SAT W, shoot with left click and sprint with shift. There is not a singular game that does this differently. Yeah, trust me on that. Same with consoles. When was the last time you saw an instruction how to play inside the disc box? Heck, when was the last time you seen a disc box? Okay. I'm getting ahead of myself here, stepping a little too far into a completely different video topic. I mention all of that because I want everyone to understand why is Soldier 76 such a core character in this game. And now that you get the basics, let's now compare how this absolute fundamental part of this game plays in today's environment. That is drastically different than when the game originally came out. For example, now we have a classic 5v5 instead of a badass and gigachat 6v6. At the beginning, it was very simple to understand what hero does what, but now it just seems every second hero can fly, or at least do something close enough to flying for some reason. Is Soldier feeling significantly weaker compared to those new heroes? Does he still find place in today's matches? The answer is a simple yes. Soldier 76 has the luck of not being forgotten that much. The balance changes are still checking on him from time to time, and from my personal experience, he is in a very good spot right now. You might think that with the newer hero releases, the game will get more and more complicated to bring something new to the table. The older heroes will lose relevancy, but this couldn't be further from the truth. I could even argue that it's now more fun to play the older heroes because it's just very calm and fun to perform okay with the basic tools, allowing you to focus more on the surroundings or trying to find a weak spot in the enemy team. Fragging the enemy gamers is always fun, with some people preferring to shoot a simple gun at them, while others prefer getting on the Santa's naughty list. But there is a singular core issue that I wanted to touch upon in today's video that might serve as a good thinking point for everyone watching. Let me ask you this. Do you think Soldier's ultimate ability is on par with Illari's Supernova? Yes, the newest addition to the hero roster, the Sun, compared to the Pop's 76 enabling cheats. This singular ability, or should I say ultimate ability, might be the only reason Soldier might feel weaker compared to the newer roster. Every new ultimate that is now getting added is significantly more outstanding and cluttering than the old ones. A hero that is in a similar place might be Pharah, for example, that has a laughable ult if we compare it to the current roster. Half of the support heroes can counter this ult simply by paying attention to the game and reacting in time with either sleep darts, Suzus or Fates, that are all almost instant effects. Don't get me started on how stupid it is that you get locked in one place while using your oh how powerful ability. Getting back to Soldier and answering the question that has been stated in the intro, are the old heroes still viable? This can be interpreted by either the people who play casually, that will say that all heroes are viable and in some way they are right because there is nothing stopping you from playing a certain hero, even if it's older than an average J3 viewer. If you're trying to win or just to have fun with the character you feel like doing so, then that's perfectly fine. But the other side of this answer is not so understanding. The people who play ranked matches and all rush to form and create the strongest possible composition of heroes to gain a significant advantage over the enemy team, also known as the meta, will very clearly tell everyone what heroes should they play. This, in my opinion, is one of the most disgusting things about the ranked matches, and why it's so repulsive for me. You no longer have the freedom of playing whatever you want to and feel to, and enjoy the game however you want to, because games will be games, and some characters will be stronger than others, especially in a game such as Overwatch, where most abilities are different from each other and have to be treated separately from each other, but at the same time consider the balance changes of them with team play in mind for the hardcore tryhards. Soldier falls into the middle ground in this case because he isn't the most desired DPS in your team, but also it's better than having a Reaper. Currently, the most desired way of dealing damage is quick bursts and some form of mobility to have some of that survivability action going, and that's why Ashe, for example, has become the perfect DPS for ranked matches, and that's partially why Sojourn was taking this place for so long, especially with a Pocket Mercy. They both could knock back diving enemies or just slide back from them, and both could headshot in long, medium or even short range and be just deadly assassins. Now we have Soldier's assault rifle. Can he do that? No. Speaking of crucial characters in your teams, Illari being a new hero means she has to be stronger than the other supports, so people are encouraged to get the new battle pass and get that slight advantage over the enemies. I still don't understand what her ult does exactly other than winning fights in a single press of a button. This case should be treated carefully with time as players get to know her kit better and understand a clear counterplay, so she doesn't get nerfed unnecessarily. Soldier, on the other hand, has been in the game since launch, and he has served as the baseline of damage heroes and how to put the numbers of damage in the correct compartment. So, to conclude everything that I have said in this short little video, we have two main statements. Firstly, if we're speaking pure damage, effectiveness, statistics, or simply put power level, the newer heroes will always be stronger. And that's it. It's just how it works, and there is nothing you can do to change it. Either their kit will be overloaded like crazy, like Illari's or Wife Lever, which is no match to the power of sprinting, or the damage or cooldowns will be cranked so unfairly just for the sake of boosting the sales and getting everyone to play the brand new thing. Secondly, if we're talking about the feeling, the gameplay, and strictly the experience of playing old heroes versus new heroes, in my opinion, there's little to no difference. The main thing that I can point out is the skill ceiling being very obviously higher in newer heroes such as Illari or Lifeweaver than with the old ones like Pharah or Reaper. It's just the number of design of the newer abilities that provide more depth and more possible uses than the old press button to do X, like Jump Jet, or Fade in Reaper's case. But other than the ability department section, the gameplay itself is basically the same. You're still playing the exact same game, and it's rare to feel like you're underpowered because you play a certain hero while the enemies are playing something else. Soldier 76 to this day counters many other heroes, and he's a very reliable hero to start the game with, because his kit is so kind and basic, it allows the players to focus more on everything around him and not himself only, which is great. Also, I must add that even though the equipment of Soldier is easy to understand, it's not easy to master at all. Getting to know the exact projectile trajectory of Helix rockets, understanding the correct positioning playstyle with your sprint, and simply learning to get better at aiming your assault rifle all adds up to this quite impressive skill folder. That's exactly why Overwatch heroes are so great. At least in most examples. Even the most simple kits, like Pharah's for example, can be learned and mastered in ways a new player would never think about. But Team Fortress 2 still does it better. Thanks for watching, have a lovely day, bye bye.